Quiet, guys. Outside of the game, it was very quiet.
Outside of the game. What a game that was. Quite enjoyable on Thursday night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. I thought the Packers played one of their best games of the season. They were physical. They never really let the Dolphins, who felt pretty good, as we talked last week on this program, how good the Dolphins were feeling about themselves coming into that game, and the Packers never really gave them a chance.
There's something to that cold weather thing, right? There has to be.
Yeah, but I think the Packers had more to do with it than anything else. I mean, they're just a better team than the Dolphins. You know, these NFC teams, the best NFC teams right now, are probably a little better than some of those playoff-bound AFC teams.
It would seem that way, and the Packers did run the table against the AFC this year.
Yeah, exactly. Do we have any more left? No, is that it? We're done?
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Oh, my gosh.
I think 5-0, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
you got to love the
AFC
South, don't you, man? If you could schedule them every year, it's like
life
playing a non-conference schedule under Barry Alvarez. Remember those days? You know, you get 3 or 4 directionals. You're undefeated going into Big Ten play. Everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy. Mm-hmm. Wayne, now, this is the weirdest thing. Can you recall a time when you had back-to-back Thursday games? Because I cannot remember the Packers having back-to-back games on Thursday.
I can. No, certainly not since I've been here. But, you know, and I don't ever remember it on a team that I was broadcasting for that ever had back-to-back Thursday nights. So it's a little weird in that you didn't get the mini bye after the first one, but preparing for the second one, you still have your 7-day week. I mean, for example, in Packerland, Wednesday was Sunday, I guess, something like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Or Monday was Wednesday, whatever. But at any rate, we're right now it's Tuesday, but it's actually Friday for the Packers.
That's the mode they're in. Then the mini bye will come after Thursday night, and this will be the second primetime game of 4. So we're midway through this primetime stretch. Okay, Wayne, as they go into Ford Field, this is, like everybody says, the game of the year. If the Packers have any hope of winning the division or making a push for it, they have to win Thursday night. And I'm flashing back to last year, and the Packers went to Ford Field, and I think they might have shocked the Lions. And a lot of it was because the pass rush was so effective. Can that happen again? I know the Lions' defense is dinged up, and the Packers should feel better about their offense compared to when Detroit visited Lambeau earlier. But I just keep going flashing back to last year, and the pass rush was what got Jared Goff and the boys in trouble that day.
As the day wore on, yeah, the pass rush came to the fore. But I thought really quick, the Packers got the ball first, and I believe it was the first play from scrimmage was that big pass play over the top to Christian Watson, and that really set the tone. I mean, you know, I'm not sure the Lions came out with the kind of intensity that I had seen them play with in that game. I think they took the Packers lightly, and why not? They had blown them out in Lambeau about a month earlier. And they kind of felt, it's Thanksgiving morning. We're the Lions. We're at home. We're overdue to win on Thanksgiving. We'll roll out these helmets, these silver and Honolulu blue helmets, and we'll just blow the Packers out of here like we did at Lambeau. And that didn't happen. And the Packers were a different football team. And before the Lions could realize it, they were down by double digits.
Lions got a scare in their Thanksgiving game. They were kind of lethargic playing Carolina. I look at them, Wayne, and this is the way we used to think with the Packers too, going back to like the 15-1 season with Aaron Rodgers. Like, they might be due for a well-timed loss between now and the start of the playoffs, just to get refocused and to remind them, of things they need to do. Is that this Thursday?
For the Lions, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it could be. I mean, their injuries are piling up, and especially on the defensive side. But they're still pretty whole offensively. Now, Taylor Decker doesn't look like he's going to play again this week, their left tackle. But nonetheless, they've been able to make do with the injuries they've had. And you'll wonder, is that going to be because they haven't really played a lot of quality teams yet or not? And can the Packers, who are now, and I think I could safely say this, the Packers are a better team than the one that played the Lions on November 3rd. They are, and they will play better in this game. They had, I can go through the litany of things, as I'm sure you guys have, the Packers did wrong in that game against Detroit. I don't think that'll happen this time around. I think this is going to be a heck of a football game between two really good football teams. But are the Lions due for a loss? Yeah, I'd say so. I think they've won. What have they won? 10 in a row after losing week 2 to Tampa Bay at home?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think the game of which Drew speaks was last Sunday until the Bears crapped their socks, or Thursday rather, Thanksgiving. I think that was the game they were due to lose, and then the Bears just spit it up.
Oh, and KB, the first half of that game, the Lions were just electric. They dominated the Bears. It was like, I don't know, 20-0, I think, at halftime.
But then the Bears come roaring back and then gave it away.
Exactly. I mean, the Bears had them, much like they had the Packers. Just make a play or two or make the right call from a timeout standpoint, and maybe you got this game.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen a more egregious use of the clock?
No. I mean, I just can't believe it. And I understand that what Eberflus wanted to do was save that timeout for a field goal, but you're down to 16, 17 seconds. Your team's in disarray. You got to get a timeout called if you have one. Get it set and let them set up to get you maybe into field goal range to get that thing tied and send it into overtime. But, the Lions have had some close calls the last couple of weeks. I'm not sure they're playing at on the edge they were playing at. And I'm talking offensively now. That they were playing at when the Packers saw them. The Lions have they're leading the league in points scored, but held to 7 points of the second half by the Bears, 23 points overall last week, well under their average. Detroit's been held under its average at Green Bay as well. They've scored 20 points in 10 straight games, but lately the Lions have been held much under their average in the last couple of games.
We're talking with the great Wayne Larrivee here on the Drew and KB program. He's a regular Tuesday visitor with us as we talk to the voices. We'll talk to your podcast partner, Matt LePay, later in the program. The Larrivee and LePay podcast, available where podcasts are available. Wayne, one of the vibes I'm getting from this Packers team, the defense has been everything looks more physical. And on offense, we say Josh Jacobs is breaking tackles. The offensive line's doing a great job. The whole operation. For years, I'd get frustrated watching him, and KB always said they need a little criminal element. They need a mean streak. They're starting to play with that. They're starting to play, not necessarily chippy, but I think Matt LaFleur used the term getting hats to the ball. I'm seeing that. So is there anything you could put your finger on as when that started to flip of them? They seem like a more physical team than we were used to when we used to call them a finesse team.
Well, not to get biblical on you, Drew, but God loves people who run to the football. He just does. It's just a fact. And, and I think the Packers are buying into that.
That was a Book of Kings, right? I remember that in my intro Bible class at Norbert's. Anyway, I'm sorry, Wayne.
Yeah, I'm sure the Friars taught you that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Norbertine.
Norbertines taught you that.
Yeah, the drinkers.
Yeah. The kind of priest you'd like to meet in a bar and sit down and talk religion with over I don't know, 12 or 13 beers apiece. Absolutely. Either that or the Jesuits. I'll go with Norbertines or Jesuits. Either way. I'm with you either way.
Jesuits are going to make you buy.
That's true. Indeed, they will. But boy,
and they're going to order the most expensive thing on the menu.
It'll be some of the best money you spend. I'm telling you,
it's true. For salvation.
Where are we?
I don't know. No, you got me involved in the conversation. That's where we are.
Good things happen when defensive players get swarmed to the ball, and I'm seeing that with the Packers. And it just seems like they're more physical, and they're going in to face a team that brands itself as the most physical team in the NFL. Right?
Drew, make no mistake about it. Now, we in laymen can see it easily on the offensive side with the way Josh Jacobs runs the football. But this football team in general is becoming a more physical football team. It's just the players they have. Dan Campbell himself said that you have a physical football team when your wide receivers block and your cornerbacks hit, especially against the run. Keyshawn Nixon, I just got done watching the Packers-Lions tape. That guy hits. I don't know how well he covers. I'm not qualified to tell you he's a great cover corner, but I'll tell you what the guy does. He comes up, somebody's coming downhill outside the numbers, and Keyshawn Nixon, if it's on his side of the field, he's going to hit him, and he's going to get him to the ground. And that's what you're looking for on a physical football team. Now, the Packers have one of those corners, and you know what? They're getting close to being that kind of a physical football team, and I think that's important. Why? Because physicality wins in the National Football League. Why do the Niners win every time in January? They always win because they're the more physical team. That's important. Lions are the most physical team in the NFL right now. I would say Philadelphia is as well. People say, well, what about the Chiefs? Aren't they finesse with Mahomes and company? The hell they are. I mean, hey, Chris Jones in the middle of that defense, he is power. Those cornerbacks come up and hit on the run, and they cover. You know, that's a physical football team, and they've won the last 2 Super Bowls. So I love what the Packers are building, and I think you'll see them bring that physicality to this game against the Lions on Thursday night.
It dawned on me, like, to me, it's like physical. It dawned on me because we were getting constant updates on injured Dolphins. And I thought, well, it's cold. They just want to go up into the locker room and have some soup or something. No, and not that you root for injuries, but when you're hitting guys and knocking them out of the game, well, obviously there's a drop off to the backups. That and causing fumbles with hits, forced fumbles, I like. And that to me is like, and that's hats to the ball. That's guys in the pile and guys stripping. And I always, when I rewatch games, I see Xavier McKinney's always in. He's getting a hat to the ball. He's always around the ball. Even if he's coming from the other side of the field, he's swarming. And I love to see that.
12 fumble recoveries by the Packers. That's number 1 in the NFL. There have been years I've been around the Packers, Drew, where they might get 4 or 5 fumbles a year. They got 12, and we still have a third of the season to go or a fourth of the season to go. So, yeah, you're exactly right with what you're seeing. I think this is becoming a more physical football team. I think that bodes well for this time of year, especially when we get to the postseason.
Young and athletic. All right, KB, it's time to learn about Larrivee. Let's throw a question at Wayne that will make him cringe and make us laugh.
Okay, Wayne. Which one of these circus skills would you most like to excel in? The motorcycle wheel of death, the trapeze high wire act, the human cannonball, or a clown?
I would like to excel at being a clown.
No,
it's a lot safer than the other things.
That is a lot safer.
Man, you're one school zone away from being a documentary. No, man.
Hey, silly string, come on, big shoes. How can you go wrong? You're incognito.
Yeah, now I'm looking at you, just seeing a big red nose.
No, I couldn't see.
Well, I've got the big.
They call
nose.
mine's called the gin blossom.
I've got the big nose, and it's getting wetter by the year. So I've had that covered. Then I can wear lipstick. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Oh,
the clown makeup.
Not here to judge.
Love it, love it. Barnum and Bailey, a sponsor of the Wayne Larrivee. Oh no, I'm sorry, no, that's not correct. Wayne, safe travels across the lake. Have a great call. Can't wait to hear you and Larry and John Kuhn chop it up on Thursday. And let's just hope this is gonna be a smash mouth fun game to watch.
Hey, we had John Kuhn on the podcast, Matt and I, this week. It is really good stuff. He was great.
Oh, fantastic, love it. Safe travels, my friend. Thanks for joining us.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, Wayne.
All right,
You got
Wayne Larrivee. Oh, love talking to Wayne.